What's up? I'm Gary.
And I'm Nate.
And this is the Gary
and Nate podcast.
Okay. This is how we want to do it in the future.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? I'm Gary.
And I'm Nate.
And this is the
Gary and Nate podcast. Okay. And then we need like a little sound.
Yeah. Do.
I'll do that every time if that's what we're doing.
Hi, I'm Gary.
Yeah.
Woo, 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 woo.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Or woo, whatever.
Woo. And you, I don't want Jeffrey Osborne coming after us.
We say whatever we want.
Take my shit. And you woo.
Oh, no, that was you did the OJs.
Woo,
Money.
money.
Woo. Fire. That's Ohio players.
Facts.
We can say that?
I saw, no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Rolls Royce.
Okay.
Not Rolls. That I was in, when I first started doing stand-up in San Diego, they had this place called Backstage Live.
Okay.
Floyd was the GM.
Hey, Floyd.
He had a secret office in the back.
Uh-oh.
Right? The office was, I walked in there and go, oh, this is like Harlem Night shit.
Speakeasy style.
I got there, I used to go there and just hang out because they had like one night they did stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
It was in the hood. It was just all black, right? And but I would go do stand-up there. And then Rolls Royce came and they brought a comedian with them and they were running late for some reason.
Okay.
So the owner, Floyd, knew I was in the audience, just hanging out. I just went there to go meet some chicks.
Right.
They come out like, Gary, you mind, can you go up and do like 10 minutes? I was like, all right. And at that time, no money, they go, just whatever you want to drink tonight, we got you. I was like, damn, I'm an alcoholic. I was
Right.
like 22, 23.
Right.
I did my 10, 15, went great, right? Get off. Then they showed up. And the girl they brought up there, the comedian, Bob, right?
Damn.
And then the girl goes, the girl said something like, tell a joke, bitch.
Ooh.
And the girl, I remember the comedian, I can't remember her name. She's like, did she just call me a bitch? Did she just call me a bitch?
Oh, man.
And the whole crowd was like, yeah, bitch.
Oh, shit.
I was like, she gets off. Rolls Royce comes up. They do their thing, and then I'm talking to her at the bar. She has no idea I went up earlier because they weren't there.
Right.
And I go, hey, I'm Gary. I'm a stand-up out here. She goes, yeah. She goes, I do this. She goes, this is the thing, man. When you're opening up for music acts, sometimes they just don't want to hear stand-up. Like this crowd just did not want stand-up. She goes, so I know when I'm with these guys, sometimes I'm going to get crowds like this. And I go, yeah. And I'm thinking, she has no idea I crushed 15 minutes before she got here.
Wow.
I can't remember her name. I cannot remember her name to save my life.
I don't think there's a crowd for music that won't do comedy. I just think you have to have either the music first and then the comedy, or the comedy and then the music. But when you go music, comedy, that is confusing to an audience.
Well, I think R&B shows, it's definitely much easier. I would never want to do rappers.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think R&B, like, because you got Cedric and Tony Braxton now,
right?
The Vegas thing.
Yeah.
So I think you can mix the two, but only with R&B, and you got to be somewhat of a name just to get the crowd excited. It'd be harder for if they have no idea who you are, just to come out there. You can still do it, but I just think it'd be much harder.
Right. And you need to do it in a way where they don't feel like you're holding up the show.
Yeah.
Because they're like, fucking, where's Chris Brown?
Well, I don't mean Chris Brown. I mean old school R&B.
I hear you, but Chris Brown has comics on his tour.
Yeah, didn't DC Young Boy open up for him for a while?
I think he did a few dates. I know Rito Brown did.
Who?
Rito Brown.
I got to get to know some of these comics, man.
There's 3 classes behind you.
Rito Brown?
No, Rito Brown. REEDO space BROWN. He's a genius.
I feel like a jerk.
He's a genius.
But I know everybody's faces.
Go, there's Rito.
So I see him. Did he open up for Chris Brown?
A little while, yeah. Toured with him. And then I think most recently...
Yeah, of course I know this guy. My bad, Rito.
Most recently, I can't remember, there's another one of the homies was out there and he was doing his thing. Terrence Terrence was out there with him. Terrence was a dancer at first, but he started dabbling in being funny.
For Chris Brown?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how that works.
He tells jokes, but he was a dancer.
But you just come out cold? What's
Probably,
up, everybody?
You probably got God Mike.
Yeah, but I mean, still.
Yeah, it's cold.
That first couple could be, you got to get them.
Got to get them.
You got to get them.
Just be the hype man.
Yeah, because if you like in the middle, like that it's almost like.
You just got to come out like, where my 80s babies, where my 90s babies, where my Leos, my Sagittarius. You know what I don't like about Leos? Now you're in it. You know what I'm saying?
That's like when the Bengals went to the Super Bowl and they asked me to host the send-off at the stadium.
Yeah.
30,000 people at the stadium. So it was so crowded, they just didn't open up the top bowl for safety reasons.
Right.
They didn't have the security to do it.
Right.
So the whole bottom, so half the stadium was filled. And you're in the middle and they're all around you. And I'm glad I had another guy with me.
Right.
It could have went left.
Okay.
And I realized as soon as I walked on stage, I go, oh, this is different. All ages, got to be clean.
Oh.
That type deal. Because it's football and you're sending them off, right? Free admission.
Yeah, that's not conducive for comedy. But
so I figured it out real quick. Oh, you are the hype man.
Yes.
You're just here to pump up the team.
Yes.
The only laugh I got.
Uh-huh.
And I got the first joke off, and the second joke, I felt like, oh, this ain't that audience. So then I just became a hype man. But I said, yo, because we were playing the Rams.
Yeah.
I said, this is Cincinnati. This Super Bowl means more to us. This ain't LA. I said, I was naming all the healthy foods. Like, we got chili.
Right.
We got greatest ice cream, real ice cream,
right.
Not gelato, not sugar-free.
Yeah, graders.
I said, and by the way, it's Joe Burrow, not Burrows. Just like it's Kroger, not Kroger's. I don't want to say black people.
Right.
I just went, everybody messing up our names.
Right.
And that got up, and I said something that it literally went from, yeah, Cincinnati shit, to, and I went, oh yeah. I go, are you ready for the team now?
Right.
Ready for the team? I start shouting out neighborhoods.
Right.
Where's Cole Rain at? Where's the West Side at?
Right. They're going crazy again.
I'm just a hype man.
Yeah.
And then I remember we had to interview some legends, some coaches, Cincinnati people, right? So it was cool. And then they had stuff on the video screen. But I think and I am not exaggerating, for 5 minutes straight, and that's a long time to be on stage saying the same thing. I kept going. They said, yo, team's about to come out. And it was so cold how they came out because they had these all white sweatsuits.
Oh, wow.
The crowd at this point is like, the fuck is the team?
Right.
Man? So I saw them not come out of the tunnel, but I'm on the field so I can see them at the tunnel.
You see them loading up.
Yeah. So I'm going like this. I go, the team is here. The team is here. Yo, for 5 minutes, Nate.
The team is here.
I'm like, the team is here. I was doing my own sound effects. I was like this. The team is here.
You did your own emergency horn?
Where the hell is the team? I see you, walk out. Please. When I tell you, the first minute of the team is here, they're going nuts.
Yeah.
They're starting to fade.
The team is here. You heard somebody go, hey, yo, where the fuck are they?
Hold on. Then the team start walking out.
Yeah.
They went freaking nuts.
Yeah.
But then when I was doing the team is there, they went, I got goosebumps. The way that stadium started rocking at just the sight of the team walking out. I said, everything we did was pointless. It literally is what we talked about earlier. The opener, it don't matter. As long as that headliner brings it.
Yep.
I was the opener.
Yep.
And it did not matter.
No. They just bought a little time. We need, because they did it without you, and they're like, we need something while they're building up in the tunnel, man. It's just dead.
Yo, the team is here.
Get Gary Owen. We'll make them laugh while they wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they knew I was. It was so cool.
Die hard, man. I want the Seahawks to put their arm around me the way the Bengals put their arm around you.
It took a while though.
Yeah, you gotta like,
yeah. It's ownership, and it's like, don't mess with the players. Get to know people in the front office, and not the owners necessarily. I'm talking about decision makers.
Yes.
But it took a while, But I had something about the Bengals. Okay. Oh, so they asked me. They go when they called and said, "Hey, we're looking for Gary to." The guy said the coldest thing on the phone. He said, "We're looking for Gary to come in and do that." And my manager goes, "Well, how much is there money?"
Yeah,
involved?
yeah.
Like,
What's
you know
your
the money involved.
honorarium?
So the guy goes like, and she goes, he really wants to go to the Super Bowl. Like he really wants to go. Like the softball out there. And the guy goes, well, this is what I'll say. We can't get him Super Bowl tickets, but we can pay him enough to buy some.
There you go.
I was like, I can't even lie. They did me right for that show. I was like,
the team is here.
My manager called me. I said, they're really going to pay me that?
Really?
Like on a Wednesday?
What they pay?
It was a lot. I'll tell you off camera. I'm not going to talk money.
All right. Well, shit. I
tell you what.
What?
You just got off the phone.
What's it rhyme with?
You just got off. Rhymes with Eddie Griffin.
Got you.
If you done it, any bonuses?
Yeah. Okay. So you went to the Super Bowl.
Well, no, I had bought tickets.
You already had tickets.
No, I bought tickets.
Got it.
So shouts out to Dwayne Wade. That's where I bought the tickets from.
Shut up.
Yep.
His team wasn't gonna go?
No, here's what happened. He's got a suite at SoFi.
Yes.
Right? So I didn't know this. When the Super Bowl comes, the NFL buys all the suites. But if you're a suite owner, they offer you, at least they offered Dwayne, 8 tickets at cost. Now, granted, at cost is like $6,000-$7,000
yeah.
a ticket, right? Yeah. So the Bengals beat the Chiefs, and the Rams were getting ready to play the 49ers next.
Yes.
Somebody FaceTiming from Dwayne's suite. And I was like,
they knew the Bengals were going. They're like, just call Gary.
I'm in Phoenix in my hotel room wilding.
Right.
They asked me to go to a bar and somebody's going to pay me a couple $1,000s to watch it with Bengal fans. I go, no. I'm watching this in my hotel.
Right.
I do not want to be bothered. I don't want to be taking selfies.
Right.
I don't want to be like,
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, my cousin.
I'm going to be at my hotel on the right side of my couch.
Because you're going to get this.
Left side of my couch watching the game.
My cousin's friend's sister cuts Joe Burrow's hair. You're going to get that.
Yeah.
I didn't want that. I want to watch it and enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm FaceTiming everybody from my hotel room. And they go, yo, D got 8 tickets. How many you want? I go, all 8. Without even thinking of it. All 8. They go, all right. They sent me the bill. I went, they go, this better be in his account Monday morning, or they gonna let he gonna go out and sell him.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, he'll have it tonight. I called my accountant.
Yeah.
We can't send stuff on a Sunday.
Right.
I go, I don't care. I said, I need that first thing in the morning, like bank open.
Yes.
That's in there.
Yeah.
He was, got it. My banker got that in there right away. And it was 2 weeks away, 2 weeks till the Super Bowl. It took like 8 days, which is an eternity when you're waiting for the tickets, to come to my phone.
Wow.
The tickets, they go, we haven't got them yet. As soon as we get them, we're
yeah.
pouring it to
you. Yeah.
Sold 4, kept 4, and made, it was either $8,000 or $12,000 profit.
Because you had the damn, but you had because you got him at cost, but you had the
cost, yeah.
He didn't make a profit. He didn't want to make a profit.
Dwayne?
Yeah.
Nah, Dwayne's cool.
Man,
he knew I was diehard
for sure.
He looked out.
Yeah.
You don't talk to me about Dwayne Wade.
He's like, I ain't
don't say nothing. Gabby and Dwayne Wade, keep that shit to yourself.
If what?
Keep that shit to yourself.
What shit?
If you don't like Gabby or Dwayne, keep that shit to yourself.
We've already talked about how much I like them both.
I'm talking about in general, people coming up to me.
Well, look at the camera. Shit, you're looking at me.
Shit on Dwayne Wade or Gabrielle Union to me. The motherfucker got me the Super Bowl.
Look at the camera and say it.
Don't shit.
Nah, with your motherfucking chest.
Don't shit.
Nah, the team is coming energy. Right there.
Go back on Dwayne.
Here you go.
D-Wade, baby. Hall of Famer. Get off my dick. Carried the Heat to the NBA title with LeBron and with Shaq. Carried them. That's what I'm talking about.
The Red Racer.
Bitch. Yes.
There you go. Yeah, so that's cool.
That was a good story.
I haven't been to a Super Bowl. I want to go to one.
Where was you when the Seahawks went? Both years, recently.
You talking about? I just was watching the game with the family.
The one in Giant Stadium. They won Denver.
I was at Calais Campbell's house in Phoenix, Arizona when they lost, when they didn't hand the ball to Marshawn.
Dude, I was in Phoenix at somebody's house. It was a nice house. I was watching it because I had a show. Shaq had a show. There was a Shaq tour. We did the show where you're in the middle.
Celebrity
Theater.
around, yeah.
Because Co Black booked it, and Tamra booked it.
Flanagan.
And they did the Super Bowl show, but they booked it so late. They tried to get me a hotel room like an hour away from Phoenix. I go, no, I want to be in the mix. Super Bowl.
They're like, there's no hotels left, Gary.
Yo, let me tell you, I think I paid $350 a night for a La Quinta Inn, and I was like, I told the lady when I got there, she recognized. She goes, "What are you doing here?" I go, "Super Bowl is the only hotel, right?" And I told her, I said, "Look, I'm gonna be raiding your pantry the next 2 days. Don't charge me. You guys know you're taxing people for La Quinta Inn,
right?"
That's why I love black people in customer service. She goes, "I got you, Gary."
Right.
Every night I'd be coming in, grabbing popcorn, bubbly,
right?
Snickers. Go ahead. I was like, $350 a night.
Right. That's dope.
Yeah, I was watching. That's funny. You was at a Cardinals player's house, and I was at somebody's house.
I just remember all the Patriots fans were in one room because it was like 2 living rooms separated by this big hallway. So all the Seahawks fans were on one side, and it was just us the whole game, rooting and cheering and rooting and cheering.
I was rooting for you guys.
And then it just was tense where the whole house was quiet. Like Reggie Bush was there randomly. Just, I was like, is that fucking Reggie Bush by the pool? Like, he was there with whoever the girl was that looked a lot like Kim K, but wasn't Kim K.
That's his wife.
Well, she's stunning, but I was like, he has a type for sure. But he came, and there were several players, and they didn't care. Like, they were just in the kitchen eating because they're like, whatever a team wins, they had no.
Yeah, they don't get all emotional like fans.
Well, it's not their team; they're already out.
I don't think players, even when they're retired, they're not emotionally attached like that.
I feel like players who were like tenured at a team are. Like, I feel like when Michael Irvin's talking about the Cowboys, he actually is serious.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was really lit. And then I just remember the goddamn interception where I was like, oh my God, this game is in the fucking bag. It was like 3rd down. We got 2 attempts to let Marshawn get it.
Down, he was gonna score.
Yeah, and then he threw that interception, and Rito is from Boston. And Rito came into the room so fast, he slid like he was coming in 3rd. Woo! Never doubt Brady.
Brady had nothing to do with it.
That's what he said. I said, fuck. And in the moment, I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was like one of the worst fucking moments in Super Bowl history. It was like, it was sewed up. Just hand Marshawn the ball.
People forget the carry before that.
He got stopped.
No.
Yes.
He went for a couple yards. They didn't stop him one time that whole game where he didn't gain 1 yard.
That's true. So it was like, just give him the ball. Fuck, if he don't get it this time, he'll get it next time.
They did a stat.
Yeah.
That entire game, he did not take a loss. He got at least 1 yard every carry.
It is terrible.
No, I think the play before that, he got like 2 or 3 yards.
But it wasn't a first down, though.
Yeah,
so
it
was enough for them to doubt, like, just handing the ball. But in the moment, Gary, there's no fucking way they should not have given Marshawn Lynch the goddamn ball.
That's my point. The carry before that, if he didn't get 1, he got 2 or 3 yards, and it was all him. It was clearly, you're not going to stop him from getting a yard. He was in the zone. He had drank his Hennessy. He had eaten whatever he ate. He was ready to roll.
There was plays during that run to get to the Super Bowl where he was stuffed. Not a lot, but 1 or 2, enough to be like, okay, fucking, we're all like, he better fucking, like, Marshawn, just do you. You know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing, too.
I was like, whoa, no. And then Malcolm fucking whatever, who's selling used cars right now.
Yeah,
fucking
millions off that play.
Steps in front of the goddamn ball, and motherfuckers are sliding all into the room. And I was like, I cannot fucking believe. To this day, nobody has taken onus for who the fuck that was. Some people say Russell called an audible at the line.
I'm going to say Carroll wanted Russell to be the MVP.
Carroll took the blame for it. And I think it is now starting to slowly come out through like all the player podcasts and shit that like Literally, Russell came to the line, was like, "Oh my god, a fucking 2 and out right now is wide open, wide the fuck open." And if we don't get it, we get an incomplete pass. Then I'll just hand Marshawn the ball. He'll walk in. We get it regardless. That's the mentality behind it.
It was they overthought it.
Well, he did, and then because Russell is, Pete Carroll's guy. Pete Carroll's like, "That's on me," and just takes it. No, they're not. Not all of them. Some of them were like, "That motherfucker went out there and did that shit himself." Fuck him. I'll see you next season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the thing. When you're talking about Marshawn Lynch, you're talking about in the fourth quarter. They're tired of tackling him.
Because have you seen the interview where he talks about
and over
and over and over and over
and over and I was like, "This is this stuck?"
Nope.
Until the motherfucker don't be hit no more.
Yeah. And then he came back. He was like, and then over and over again. I was like, "Yeah,
over and over."
Between that and just like fucking whipping that truck around the field at Cal.
I just can't say any classic Cal.
Well, who's in class at Cal? Like, if you think Aaron Rodgers was in class at Cal?
The fact that Aaron Rodgers and Marshawn Lynch were on the same college team.
Right.
Like, how bad was that coach? I think they had Deshaun Jackson on the team too.
Yeah, it was a stunning lineup on that team.
I'm going like this. Who was your head coach?
Well, how about Buffalo for having him and then letting him go?
He wanted out.
Either way, he still owns like Applebee's in Buffalo.
Yeah,
he went there and they're like, "Oh my God, Marshawn Lynch is here." And he's like, "This is my shit."
Yeah, but I think he had some kind of gun charge in Buffalo too.
Yeah, but everybody has a gun charge in Buffalo.
The best thing he did was go to Seattle.
Yeah, you can't take that personality and stick that into Buffalo. It's a choked up, to.
I think you could now.
No,
loosened up.
No, not at all. Just the people. I could tell. Like I just did Buffalo. We went and had some wings at a place called Elmo's. Fire wings.
Yeah.
Had to sit next to a fucking table of 27 Proud Boys.
Really?
Yes. Everybody got on American flag shirts and rifle gear, and the hats where the flag is made out of rifles and guns. The stars and stripes are bullets.
They were polite though. I went to the Bengals Bills playoff game when the Bengals beat them a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We was on the way out, and I'm Bengaled out. And then one guy goes, "Hey, man, just beat the Chiefs for us. Hey, I can't argue. Fair and square. You beat us."
There you go.
And I was like, everybody was like shaking my hand on the way out. Nobody was being like a jerk.
Yeah.
You know? It's like everybody was saying the same thing. Just please beat the Chiefs.
Please
beat the Chiefs for us.
Right.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Help us out. But no, man, that's why I was saying on the last episode, I'm like, man, Marshawn, I gotta meet him to be like where we just cool. We just gotta be homies, man.
Yeah. He's that dude, man.
Dead ass.
He's dead ass.
So I'm gonna ask you a question.
Okay.
Yep.
Ooh, this is gonna be a good one.
Yep. What's something I would never guess about you? Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot. You don't know me like that.
And neither do they. So we'll say a couple things.
What?
If I don't, they don't.
Never know about me.
Yeah, what would you not know?
Let me see.
I'll tell you one I didn't know. I didn't know you were like whatever a pussy magnet is, that as a kid you were the opposite. I just thought like you had an average, regular childhood with real like experimentation with girls and all that, like everybody else had, and you're like, yeah, I didn't even see a pussy till I was 32. Like, 19, still like, 19. I didn't expect that read.
No, definitely not.
I just assumed like Gary fucks.
No, what the dude? You go up in a trailer park and you ain't got no money.
Yeah,
and that mess with and you're not a great athlete. You're average, so you're not getting that. Yeah, you're not getting any residuals. I can't pick girls up. I don't have a car. I don't have a driver's license. I can't take you out like that. So it was like, no. And it was all white school too. So,
but all of those people were fucking.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't.
You weren't.
Like that. I mean, at that age, you're just you be intrigued if a girl liked you. You still got butterflies.
Yes.
But deep down, I was like this. Every time we go out and see a black girl, I'd be like this. Yo, that's really what I want, guys. But you couldn't say that in high school. And
you wanted a black girl and couldn't say that.
Collagenal.
Let
me see. What?
Collagenal.
Oh yeah, A Bronx Tale.
Yep.
Yep, I picked that up. Let me see what nobody would know.
Sonny was like, "Do you like the girl? Then like the girl."
You know, I did a movie with him, and he told me the backstory of A Bronx Tale.
He said it was his real life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chaz Palminteri.
Yeah, he was like, "I was Colageno."
Yo, he had us. We were shooting Little Man. and
He's
we-
in Little Man.
Yeah, he was the gangster.
Fuck, he's in Little Man.
Yeah, dude, I had the best time bullshitting with him
Wow.
because he's got stories
Yeah.
and legit, like, motivational, life changing stories. And he had us in the makeup trailer one day, silent. I'm talking Sean, Marlon, Tracy Morgan, Kerry Washington. When Chaz would talk and share his stories, it was like this.
Riveting.
Because he literally was the epitome of betting on yourself.
Really?
Turning down millions of dollars. Because people wanted that script. They wanted A Bronx Tale. And he wouldn't sell it unless he wrote it and he starred in it. He goes, I got to write it.
It's my life story. I'm not giving that up.
Because he wrote it as a stage play.
Really?
Yeah, it was a stage play. And he was doing off Broadway. I think that means it's 200 seats or less or something like that.
Okay. Off Broadway is different than off Broadway?
Yeah, he was doing off. That's what I said. I said, what's that mean? He goes, it was according to seats in the theaters.
I didn't know that.
And it was getting all this heat in New York. And then it goes to LA. And he does in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, every studio, every agency, they're all offering him. He said, dude, Gary, it got up to over $1 million.
What
He
did?
goes, the rights to the screenplay of A Bronx Tale. And this is in probably late 80s, early 90s.
So that up to $1 million is like, okay.
Yeah. He said, my wife and my daughter are living in a little apartment in New York.
Mm.
We're literally paycheck to paycheck trying to pay bills. I'm putting everything into this play, right? And my wife knows that. So I go in, and this guy slides me a check, some studio, and was like, it's $1 million. He said, take it or leave it. And he goes, I'll take it, but I need to write it, and I need to be in it. And the guy goes, no, nobody knows who you are. You're not, we got somebody that can write it. Don't worry about it. We're going to hire somebody who can write it. He goes, give me a minute. He said he went in the bathroom. He said he put water on his face, like out of a movie. He said, I looked in the mirror, and he goes, fuck it. Goes back in and goes, can't do it. I got to write it. I got to be in it. And he was like, well, he took the check back. He goes, and before he walked the door, he goes, Chaz, you'll never see a check this big the rest of your life.
That's what the guy said?
Yeah. And Chaz turned around. He goes, you know what? I'm going to take this back to New York. I'm going to take it to off Broadway again. He goes, and I'm going to get twice that money. He goes, because you wouldn't offer me $1 million if you didn't know it was good. You know it's good. I know it's
Yeah.
good. Goes back to New York. Word gets back to Robert De Niro. De Niro goes to see it. Him and De Niro, after that play, first time he's meeting Robert De Niro, they go to a diner. They're sitting there talking. And De Niro goes, I've heard your story. I love the play. He was like, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it with you. And Chaz goes, that's fine, but I need to write it.
Right.
And I need to be in it. And De Niro was like, of course, it's your story. Wouldn't have any other way. He goes, but I'm gonna direct it, and that way it'll get made. And he said they shook hands. There was no money discussed. There was no whatever. They shook hands. He goes, and I just started writing it, and De Niro got behind it, played the bus driver, directed it.
The dad.
And he said, I'm going to be Sonny. Da-da-da. And it was done. I was like this. Damn. And then he goes, here's the funny part. He goes, like 2 years later, I'm Oscar nominated. So that same guy that says, nobody knows who you are, I'm Oscar nominated for some movie with Cher. Did a movie with Cher.
Okay.
He said, and then a couple years after that, he gets offered a Diet Coke campaign. Do you remember he was like the gangster?
Yeah.
The Diet Coke? And he offered him, and I don't know what I believe the number he told me was $4 million for this campaign. He goes, and at that time, when actors or actors were doing commercials, it looked like they were falling off. At that time.
Right.
So he goes, his wife, he goes, yeah, they offered me a Diet Coke campaign. And his wife goes, well, what are you going to do? He goes, I'm not going to do it. I mean, I think it's degrading or whatever. And they're, it's $4 million. His wife goes, I will leave you if you don't take that for it. He goes, we and your daughter lived off nothing. We let you chase this dream.
Right.
And now you have it. And you're going to say no off of pride.
Right.
She was like, I will leave you, Chaz.
Straight up.
Like, did it? He goes, and he I think he was the first one
to like relevant
movie
and
star
to
start doing it. And he goes, next thing you know, he goes, and people didn't know this at the time, but like actors, A-list actors were doing like commercials overseas. They would do like a cologne or a coffee, but it'd be in Germany.
Right, so it doesn't air around here. We don't know.
We didn't know. He goes,
right.
But people were getting broke off. Like George Clooney had like Nespresso over there and shit. He goes, so guys were doing it.
Right.
We just didn't know about it.
Right.
He goes, my shit was in America. And I was like, God, what a great story.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then
that's awesome.
I didn't know that it was based off his childhood, right? This is how he told me. We're in the van, headed back to the hotel after set one day, and he goes, looks around because we're in Vancouver.
Yeah.
He goes, not a lot of black broads out here, huh? And I went, oh my God. You were the kid.
Yeah.
You were the kid. He goes, of course, I roll with Bobby. I mean, De Niro.
Yeah.
He goes, of course, bro. I roll with Bobby.
Oh, man.
And then it was funny. We're at the rap party.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there, and it was some nightclub and stuff. And Chaz walked in, and I had I think one of my friends came in for the rap party.
Right.
And he looked at me crazy. I go, Chaz, tell the story. Tell the story. How Bronx Tale got made. I'm fucking out. I go, I'm fucking it up. He goes, Gary, I'm not going to tell the story now. Stuff like this. All right, never mind. Anyways, he's the kid. He's the kid.
Right.
I wanted him to full on tell this 20-minute emotionally draining story.
Sit down and do it right now. Wow.
Jess, tell it, man.
Yeah. Hit the button, brother.
Fucking great story, though. Great movie. God, some inspiring shit right there.
It's one of my favorite movies. And
I don't know. Would you have taken the $1 million?
Me?
I mean, if you're broke and you've been broke and you've been at this for years.
Depends, man. It really depends on how much of okay, I don't have another story in me like that, or this truly is my life.
Yeah.
And I know its value. But in his defense, when you hear the $1 million, you're like, if it's worth $1 million, it's worth 10.
That part.
You know what I mean?
To an unknown.
All you did was just let me know I was right.
Yeah.
I was hunkering down. I ate soup the last month so that my off-Broadway show had the right outfits.
Yeah.
You offer me $1 million, I'm like, I know it. I knew it. Yeah. So I don't know if I would.
What a great flick.
In general, I stand on business a lot.
Yeah.
I've already turned down $1 million.
Yeah. For what? Like when you were broke?
Yeah, when I was ready to tour.
Oh, it was just like the whole tour they wanted to pay you one lump sum?
No signing bonus.
Oh, wow. But you still would have got paid off the tour dates, right?
I would have been exclusive.
Oh. That gamble paid off?
Yeah.
I can tell because now I'm on TV in your studio.
I'm just saying.
Like this.
Yeah. I mean, the freedom is priceless. You sign that, you get that money, but for the next 3 to 5 years, it's jump how high. I don't feel good.
Oh, it wasn't a 1-year deal.
No, it was however long I needed to work it off, and you know what I'm saying? They're going to expense it.
Oh, so it was $1 million, but you had to pay some of it back or all of it back?
That's how that shit works. Then there's some that's like, okay, it's completely unforgivable.
Yeah, that was a good call on your part.
Yeah, there's the unforgivable part of it. That's like, look, there was a part of it. There was, a quarter of it or about 2/5. That's how the math would work out. Was unforgivable. It wasn't a part of what would be expensed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've turned down $1 million.
That's not worth it.
But I mean, is it?
I haven't turned $1 million.
I probably could have took it, did all those shows, and be in the same scenario now. The question is, how long are they trying to hold that over my head? How long am I supposed to be with them? Can I go to another company if somebody said, "Hey, I gave you $1 million"? What the fuck?
Yeah. It's like, have you ever been offered a radio job?
No, but I want one badly.
Oh, see, I've been offered twice.
And
That
they're
was my
huge
biggest thing.
contracts. I heard it's like if you get like a car, or if you need to be helicoptered, like that's when it's time to say it.
Oh no, I didn't get offered like that.
Okay.
I got offered like just in one city to be the co-host of a morning show,
Mm-hmm.
and I gave him such an astronomical number
Mm-hmm.
because I know the same way you're saying radio can be like that. I also know radio can be like you uproot your whole family and move, and then they fire you after a year.
This is one of the most fickle occupations I've ever seen.
So I gave him a number, and it was in Atlanta, and they were really negotiating back and forth, but they were negotiating with the people in New York,
Mm-hmm.
and because that owned the radio station, it got so close. Like I was house hunting in Atlanta, and I almost bought. I think his name was Brian Jordan. He used to play for he was like a lower end Dion. He played for the Falcons and the Braves. He was a DB,
Yes.
an outfielder, and I didn't know it was his house. And I was like, "Who lived here?" And then they was like the real estate lady told me, and I was like, "Oh!" And I guess he kind of moved, and it was just sitting there for years because it was definitely a fixer upper.
Okay.
But I was about to get it. I was about to get it.
You're about to update it.
If I would have got the job, I would have got it.
But you didn't get the job, so how much money was it?
The house?
The job.
Oh, I told him like $2 million.
And they really went to bat thinking about it.
Yeah. Whew. I was like, for the year, and it was.
But that's different than turning down. That's just it slipped through. Because had they said yes in New York, you'd have you.
But I wouldn't be able to go on the road.
So you turn it down by shooting so high that you're like, this is how I'm turning it down.
And this is 12 years ago.
Yeah, that's real money. So they turn around and considering it, you're like, oh my God. I
couldn't believe it. I was like this. When we're discussing this, and I put in the contract 40. I give you 40 weeks. I need 12 weeks off to go do stand up. Like I could still do stand up on. I was doing mornings, so I could have did stand ups on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah,
but not Sunday. And I wasn't doing a lot of theaters back then. It was pretty much comedy clubs.
Right.
So it was like I would have had just doing 4 shows.
Or 5, you just add a Saturday matinee.
Yeah. So it was like.
Oh, I did
shocked.
17 shows in Chicago. My first show was like 11 a.m.
Yeah. At Schaumburg?
Yeah, no, at
Zanies?
Zanies.
Zanies, yeah. But I was like, what?
Like brunch and a show. Like
right. I was like, this. Wait a minute, you're discussing this?
Right.
I threw it out there like.
Was there an initial number that you then like your 2 million was the counter to?
I can't remember what the initial. Yeah, there was an initial number.
Was it greater than $1 million?
No.
Right. So you didn't turn down $1 million. You just made it very difficult for them to say yes to the 2.
I was shocked. We were even talking about it.
Well, you've had the scenario where you're playing with big ass money like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
my thing was radio was.
See, Sonny and I had the checks in front of us and had to hit our faces with water. Yeah. And say no. But I literally was like, oh my God, if I sign this right now, it's $1 million.
But the IRS, agent manager.
I mean, I was like, you need to offset the 10%. Like that is, it's just like when you get
10?
Yeah. So I just sat there. I was like, man.
And now look at you, got roses on your hat, roses on your shirt.
Listen, I said no to that, and it took a very long time to scrape anything near that amount. Like a lot of touring and like a lot. I may have toured more than anybody in the last couple years. Been no breaks.
Yeah.
Other than me being like, man, I don't feel well. I had to put out not do Miami, but they were like, Memorial Day weekend, we're right back at it.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that just did. I mean, really, like.
Because I texted you when you did Ontario, and you did like, what, 12 shows or 11 shows or something like that?
It was 11 last time, and at 8
was it Wednesday through Sunday?
Thursday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
You
Sunday.
didn't add a day?
I don't think so. So you
Hold on,
go.
because the max is 3 shows a day.
No, you can do 4 if you do a matinee before matinees.
I did 4 during COVID.
You can get a midnight show.
So, what was it? 1 on Thursday, 2 on Thursday?
There's 2 on 2, 4, 6. Because there was a 7, 9, and 11, whatever Friday. Then there was a matinee at 2. Then there's a 7, 9, and 11 on Saturday. So 4, 3, 2, and 2. What is that?
4,
4,
3 is 7.
Yeah.
8, 9, it's 11.
That's how I did it.
11. Because I think I texted you and I said, yo, I sold out like 7 or 8. And I said, not 11, but I'll take it.
I saw it. And then I wrote up on the thing because the 11 this year felt like the I did 8 this year. Writing on the like 8 more, like that felt like the 11. I'm so glad we didn't have the other 3. Fucking fuck. And it's because I give too much. Like I'm outside for the whole time. Like I'm literally, it's meet and greet the whole time. Outside after the show, before the show. Like it's just. But if I just sat in the green room and chilled. And
you gotta realize, and like most comics, you grind it for so long, and you sit there like, man, am I ever gonna sell tickets or when it's gonna happen? I think a lot of us think it's gonna happen. We just don't know when. Like, when's it gonna happen? And then when it hits, then you're like, wait a minute. I used to come and make like $3,000 for the weekend, and now I got a chance.
No, $1,500.
Yeah, I'm just throwing out random.
I survived. I get it, but I had 24 years in the game, and I was telling this to DC because he was like, you know, he's like, I was talking to Bruce. And he was like, you know, how long you doing when you on the road? I said, I'm doing at least 80 minutes. You know, he's like, 80 minutes? Oh, gee, you ain't got to do that. Bruce told me, 45, get out of there. Leave him one more. I said, okay. I said, but I'm giving him 80, and I'm in the lobby for an hour and a half, and then I'll come out after that. And I said, that level of contact and accessibility has grown my shows 3- and 4-fold. And I was doing this gambling that it would, because I was like, I don't know if I'll ever fucking come back. They might be like, yo, I get it. We met him, we saw him, we did hella time, we've seen everything. Cool, we get what the concept of what Nate Jackson is doing.
I've never seen
Don't gotta go back.
I've never seen or heard a comic like when you say you're out there before the show.
When doors open at 6, and sometimes I'll fuck up and get there at 6:30, but when doors open at 6, I don't go green room. I walk in the front of the building, and I go straight, and it's Keela's behind the thing, and I'm next to it at a table. I'm signing shirts and taking pictures for all the way up until 10 minutes before I go on stage. I go back, I pee, I drink a little bit of tea, and I walk out on stage to do the show. People can see me walking through the showroom, behind the thing, and then out on the stage. I do 80 minutes, and hey, Trenton, this last run of shows where I kept on fucking up and doing too much time, how much time was I doing? Yeah, fucking up.
So you go in the lobby, you walk through the front door, you're in the lobby, and you're signing shirts.
There's a line.
Taking pics before the show.
Gary, there's a line like you're going to the Bengals game.
The only other comic I've heard do that lately is Ari Spears. Sorry, it was too easy.
That was fantastic. That was fantastic. Just cut me with your feet, why don't you? No, that was great.
The whole time he was talking, I go, I can't wait to get this one out.
Yeah.
Keep going, Nate. Now, what'd you do? How long? How many t-shirts?
That's wonderful.
But I see the concept.
But I'm getting to the again, and he's like, DC's like, I give so much of myself, and he does. DC has been since he popped. He's always been Mr. I'll go. And then he just starts protecting his peace and saying, I need to not go today.
He's been through a lot.
A lot. And so, and he was sitting right where you are, and I was right there, and he was like, man, you don't have to do all that. I said, you got to understand, man, when you're doing comedy for 20 plus years, and you see other people get it, and you want it even if you don't see your peers get it. You want it. it finally comes, and you're like, you're telling me I'm relevant enough that I can make the kind of money to put grandchildren through college and they can just pick, I'm gonna go get it. And even if it's so I stand in that lobby and I want to meet the people. I want a relationship to where when I come back, they're like, we gotta go see him. He's cool as a motherfucker, bro. Come on. And it's not just you. You're grabbing coworkers, friends, and you're coming back. That's how Atlanta went from a 1,700 seater that I didn't fill up. I had 1,500 in a 1,700 seater. No, excuse me. I sold out Atlanta at 1,760, and now we're going back, and it's 2 shows that are 2,600 plus. So we go from 1,760 to over 5,200 in 1 year. It's time to stand in the lobby.
But I also think the difference to what DC's talking about and what Bruce, the advice he gave him was Bruce gave him that advice probably at a time when people wasn't filming themselves like you film yourself in your, because I don't know about you, when I got my camera guys, I'm like, oh, I gotta talk to guys a little bit because I don't want to do all my stuff. I want to have the interaction to get those magical moments that you got unplanned. And that's what you're doing a lot of. So like for you to do 80, I think in your brain, you're like, you know, I don't know what's about to happen. I'm on a wire here with no net. And I'm going to see what's going to happen. I don't want to just do 45. I want to get my bang for the buck.
Yeah. But these shows are ending with standing ovations. And then after that long, I mean, I come off and I'm like, oh, I got carried away. Fuck. Like Trenton's putting away cameras real slow, and the staff is like,
you're not doing nothing after the show.
I am.
You're out there selling t-shirts after?
I go back out. The people got meet and greet.
You don't do it on the stage?
No, I go out to the lobby. Most of these places can't even accommodate that. Plus, we've been in the theater for 2 hours. They're like, get it, close this. Somebody's already bringing that lamp out to like turn the lamp on.
Oh, I'm talking about like comedy clubs.
No, comedy clubs, it's not on stage because there's another crowd coming usually. So it's usually in the lobby to accommodate.
But the crowd's got to go through the lobby.
But new crowds do. The old crowd usually pops out of like an exit door.
Oh, so you're not getting the old crowd on the meet.
I'm talking about theaters right now,
okay,
but we did Plano, and we were just at the end of the lobby. So they turned the lobby into a meet and greet area. And while that happened, the new line was lined up outside the window and coming in. So they're watching me take pictures with the old crowd.
Oh, see, I always like to do at comedy clubs, the meet and greet on the stage, because I always feel like it feels like now I feel like they think they're part of the show.
Yeah,
like,
but
I'm on the stage.
Yeah, I see that, but they don't give a fuck where it's at. They want you. They would meet and greet in the bathroom. They want you. I want it to be
the backdrop, improv funny bone back there.
That's fine too. I am trying to do it to where I can do that and not keep the room from being flipped. As a club owner, I'm like, let me get out of the showroom because the next crowd needs to be. If I'm in there, we can't get new seats. Now the line's just waiting.
But how do you do that at a comedy club? Like, I'm asking, like, you in the lobby?
Yeah.
The other crowd's coming in.
Yeah, we've been in lobbies. I've stood out.
The other crowd's like
talking Denver. In Denver, we did it outside. In Ontario, it was outside. You know the Ontario Improv?
Yeah.
And so there's like the Ontario Improv with the big entrance and then the mall or whatever. But to the left, there's like that little restaurant that has the stripes on it.
Yeah.
We were inside that little pony wall right there. That's where. So they would come out and go that way. But the crowd was going past the box offices and going in. So they're seating the whole time while I'm catching people in that big hallway. Now, every club is in spacious as Ontario. So Plano was the front bar, and then people were outside. And then, like, we find a way.
Yeah.
We've been in the cold. We've been in the rain. We've been in the. We're going outside. We're going.
I always ask the club, where you want me.
Yeah.
We do this every week.
But then they'll put you in a way where they don't.
I prefer it on stage.
Yeah, I know. But they don't know. I don't mind that. Nashville, we did it on stage for the late show because there wasn't another show coming.
Zanies?
Yeah. But the outside
on the side?
Yeah, under the tent with the heaters.
Yeah, they'll put the tent out there.
But the line is going down and wrapping around, and the new line is out there wrapped around. So the two lines, one's the Cena show, and the other one's waiting for the new show. It's a line. So I give a lot, and the reason, and that's why I was trying to tell DC, I'm like, nah, man, I'm not saying that, like, neither one of us is wrong. But I'm just coming from the vantage of wanting that relevance and wanting my own following so bad that now that if they give a fuck, I'm going to stay out there longer. I'm going to fucking say I'm not taking none of that shit for granted.
Yeah.
None of it. And I'm not saying that he is, because you do need to preserve your energy. We should be preserving our voices. We should, you know what I mean?
Yo, I can't wait till a certain comic sees this podcast.
Who? To preserve your voice?
No. I'm about to be doing meet and greets outside.
Oh, yeah. If I change the game, I change the game. But I tell you right now, whatever you're selling out there, you better order 8 times more. They immediately are like, oh, to meet him, I need to buy something? To meet him, I should buy something? You don't even have to make it, it's not the law. They will literally be like, can I just get a picture? And somebody, you ain't gonna buy shit? Like another person will say something.
Yeah.
Or they'll take the picture and then be like, oh, I'll just get a hat. Yeah. You know what I mean? But like it's, because if you're not out there, you just have a person selling your merch or whatever, okay. But it's like, you know, you'll have maybe 1/8 of the crowd is gonna meander out there and buy a Get Some shirt. But if you're there.
Yeah. I'm always there. But I kick myself in the ass all the time thinking I was headlining for like 5-6 years and did not do meet and greets and sell shit. And I go, what the hell?
You had no merch at all?
Was I thinking? Well, this was when everybody was doing like DVDs.
Yeah, everybody had DVDs.
Yo. And I, you know, we were so broke at one point. People think you're always, because you're headlining, you're doing good. We were so broke at one point, and I flew to Tampa, and I had seen Gabriel Iglesias like 3 months before, and he had a CD burner.
Yep.
And he was burning his stuff after his shows in the green room. I said, "What's that?" He's a CD burner, man. You go get it at Office Depot.
He had a 10 deck?
Huh?
How big was it?
It just, you put the master DVD here,
Yes.
and then you press the button and it would pop out at the bottom.
How many?
2. It just one at a time.
Okay.
But it literally only took like 15 seconds.
Right. But like churches have the one where you put the disc in top and then there's 10 bays for blanks.
No. This was just one.
Got it.
Because I literally used to pack it, take it on the road with me.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't pack the big one. I'm in Tampa. We got no money. Like, we're not in the hole, but we're at 0.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, at that point, I think I was doing Wednesday through Sunday. I was burning the DVDs, and every time I burned one, I was like this: $15, $30, $45. I was counting because I was selling for $15.
Yep.
And I just remember that first night in Tampa, I think I sold 10, and I was like, I got money for food, baby.
Yep.
And they put us at the Chase Suites, which is like a Residence Inn, so breakfast was free.
Mm-hmm.
I was like this. Took dinner from the club. I was like this. I'm good. I'll never forget. That was the best $150
Mm-hmm.
I think I made, because I was like this. Okay, I can take a breath.
I remember, and I'm not going to say the comic's name, but after a show, the comic didn't have anything to sell. And one night, and I was selling. And then the next night, they had these like yellow and green plastic, like the CD jackets for one CD and CDs. And they were just signing the front, the yellow part, signing the green, and was selling them. And I was like, oh man, it's dope that you were able to get some of your DVDs remade. And it's like, these are blank DVDs.
Shut up.
You just sell something.
Oh my God.
Just sign the blank
That's
DVD. People were buying them, taking them home, like, something's wrong with mine. Hey man, I'll get you a new one out. I'll get you another one out.
I can't wait till it's over so you can tell me who it is.
Okay.
I'm like this. Oh my God. I'll tell you a dope story on the opposite end of that. I was, you know who, I think is Henry Coleman?
Yeah.
Dude, he opened up for me in, was it Macon, Georgia? It was one of them cities you could drive to Atlanta.
Okay.
But I think it was
Augusta type shit?
Yeah. And the motherfucker's car broke down.
Oh, no.
And he was working at Wendy's because he couldn't get home.
Right.
He needed a job to get his car fixed.
Wait, what? So he had to get hired to fix his car so he can move?
He was coming to the shows in a Wendy's outfit. And I go, yo, why you got that Wendy's outfit on? He goes, no, I'm working there. And I was like, he goes, yeah, my car, like the engine blew up and I can't get home right now. And if I do go home, I ain't got no money anyways. So the club was letting him like feature and host for however long it's going to take.
Right.
And he got a job at Wendy's during the day. I appreciate the hustle so much.
Yeah, that's dope.
I wasn't in a position, this is probably like 2000, 2001. I wasn't in a position to be like, bro. Now I'd be like, if you tell me that story now, I'd be like, where's your car?
Right.
Let's go get it fixed. Just the fact that you're willing to go that far.
Yep.
And not call somebody to help you.
I mean, you could have featured him a couple times too. Took him with you.
That's true. But I just told you I was burning CDs in Tampa at this time because I didn't have shit.
I didn't know that was the same time.
The same time frame.
Okay.
About 99, 2000. And this isn't just to shit on somebody, but I was in a relationship and somebody wasn't good with the money.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like this. We ain't got nothing? We ain't got no money right now? What?
That's why my dad says that we'll never be broke. Because once somebody respects your art, you can just make your art and then now you have something to sell. You know what I mean? So you see like
your dad said the same thing. I don't want to misquote. I feel like I'm name dropping. It was either Shaq or Anthony Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
Because when my divorce hit TMZ and I was on the run from the process server.
Yep.
You think, and you've never been through this, you start to think, because you hear all the horror stories about divorce, like, oh my God, I'm about to be broke and I'm going to work the rest of my life and give it to somebody else. Like
alimony, yeah.
You're worried about that.
Yeah.
And it was either Shaq or Anderson, and they said it, I'll never forget, they go, dude, your talent is not going to allow you to go broke. You're good. Remember that. I was like this. And here I am. I remember that, but I don't remember who said it.
Damn.
Because they both were talking to me during my divorce and give me nuggets.
And that's a nugget.
Because they both went through a divorce.
Yeah.
They were telling me what they went through. This is what you should be looking out for, stuff like that. They were just giving me advice, but I wish I knew who said it. It was one of those two that said, and I'll never forget it. It just made everything go away. He goes, bro, you're good. Your talent is not going to allow you to go broke. And I was like this. Huh. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right.
But for real.
That's a good way to end it.
For real. It is.
Yeah.
It is. So tell them your shows.
I'm just going to pump July 12th.
Las Vegas?
What casino?
The Palm.
What the theater in the Palms called?
It's got a weird name.
Pearl.
There it is.
Yeah. Pearl Theater in the Palms, July 12th.
Palm Theater in the Pearl. Okay. And what else?
That's all I got right now. That's good.
Oh, you're trying to focus it up.
That
like, hey guys, just worry about this one. I got it. Okay,
so if it goes, they're holding the 11th.
Got it. So and in that spirit, then I most definitely want to get eyes on my Northeast run because I'm coming to do the Foxwoods and I'm coming to do the Wilbur.
And Boston?
Yeah, Boston.
I bet you do 4
shows.
Yeah.
I don't know. They just added a second one the other day, but I'm also doing Nantucket at
Nantucket?
No, not Nantucket. It's like Nantucket or some shit. Foxwood Resorts in Ledyard, Connecticut, and then there is.
That's the good casino.
Okay, so Foxwoods, and there's another. No. Hold on.
What are these?
The Chevalier Theater. So the Wilbur is they added a second show. The Wilbur is on June 5th. There's a 7:30 show, and then there's a 10 o'clock show, and then the hard part with adding because I can't just lock in is the next day, Medford, Massachusetts, like 2 hours away or less. I'm doing the Chevalier, and so shout out to Bill Blumenreich because he owns all that shit.
Mm.
But essentially, we can go for a PR. Like we can break a record for what I even that run of those Boston shows and the Foxwoods. If they do what Boston should do, it's going to change quite a bit of things. Like it establishes a new baseline. It really shows. It shows that you guys see me on this. Okay, you see me here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I have to change my perception of how I'm perceived if that goes the way that goes. If that goes the way that goes, I got to look at me different.
Okay.
So please check me out, Boston.
Is there room to add shows at the Wilbur?
Yeah, we'll just add the other way. So instead of adding after these shows, we'll add forward. I can. And
you doing Friday?
That's a Thursday. 2 shows on Thursday night, and I'm okay.
It's easy to add Wednesday than if you're adding Thursday.
Mm-hmm. Or I can skip. I can do There's the Wilbur 2 shows on the 5th, Chevalier on the 6th, the Lyric in Baltimore on the 7th. I can come back and start doing shows on the 8th. So I could do 2 on a Sunday, come back to the Wilbur.
Oh, okay. Got it.
But yeah, it's just exciting. I can't tell if there's any tickets, if there's still tickets for one of the shows, because we added. So I think the 7:00 one is the one that's a wrap, but the late one is the one that we added. So Boston, get with me out there at the Wilbur. It's going down. You know how we do. It's going to be a great show. I'm going to be in the lobby. I'm going to meet everybody. I'm going to give you about 80 minutes. Yep.
Bing bong. That's a great theater too.
I've only been there as a voyeur because some more was there and her show was locked, but she was like, just come hang out. So I watched the show at the Wilbur and I was like, man, I want to play this one day.
Yeah,
and God damn it, it's happening. I'm beyond my vision board right now. And so I'm looking forward to coming to Boston and playing the Wilbur.
I'll be there in July.
Wilbur.
I'll be in Boston in July.
You've done it before?
July 7th.
What?
But I'm doing something for one of the Celtics, Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
He's got I think it's me, Deion Cole, and Lil Duval.
That sounds like it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's his charity event.
Well, that's it.
Yep. All right, man. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.